Look, we've already established you can't go out on your own, right? You show up in Landview and pretend you're Jessica without me, they're gonna, like, believe you for 2 seconds. The only way this is gonna work is if we vouch for each other, and the only way I'm helping you is if I got leverage to stick around. So, before we make a move, you gotta tell me what I need to know.
You already know my secret.
No, kid, I don't know your secret, okay? I know what happened right up sort of when we got to the bar. That's about it. Oh, and you were, I don't know, in a corner and some guy was...
Some guy?
Yeah, some guy.
Some guy, that sleazeball, he...
What? Tell me, kid. You know you're dying to. My God, you've been holding this in so long. You gotta blow.
I'm fine with it.
Bull? You're dying to tell somebody, kid. And I'm the only one you can tell. That's if you want to stick around. Hey, I ain't gonna use it to bring Jessica back.
Unless it suits you.
Think about it, okay? We can use this secret to destroy Vicki for what she did to you. If she hadn't been so spineless, she could have saved you from whatever that guy did to you.
And I wouldn't be here at all.
But you are. Both of them, right? And we want to stay that way. Look, if this secret makes you powerful, both of us knowing it makes us indestructible. What do you say, huh?
So what happened? Did you get the map? The Chamber of Commerce files were a little outdated, but I got a buddy of mine who's looking into the property records now.
All right, hey, don't worry. If Tess and Nikki are up there, we'll find them.
I'm not telling you squat. You're damn right this secret gives me power, and I'm not going to share any of it with you.
Great. Just the thanks I get for sticking my neck out.
Right. Like you wouldn't sell me out the second I turned my back. This is your plan. You'd walk all over me to get what you want, and guess what? I don't give a damn about you either. So you can forget about this psycho sisterhood you have planned. I'm going to make my own plans.
Man, that must be some secret.
All right, you sit down, get some weight off that ankle, all right?
No, there's no time, all right? I gotta save Tess. She could be out there freezing to death.
Nash, we've been looking all day. It is time for us to regroup. Besides, Antonio is out there with the other Rangers, and if they find anything, they'll call.
Tess is out in those woods. I'm not giving up until I can look her in the eyes and assure her that she's the only woman I'm in love with.
You know, you may not want to admit it, Nash, but Tess is not the only woman that you have feelings for.
Hey, look what I found. Isn't this cool? Man, it's cold in here. What, you too lazy to throw a log on the fire? Kid, we're gonna freeze to death if you don't keep that fire going. Well, trail's all snowed over. Can't even tell which path goes back to the main road, which one goes to some bear's cave. Ah, come on. You can't just sit there and stew. You gotta talk to me sometime, you know?
Hell, I do.
Come on, what are we gonna do this all over again?
Everything's your fault, Nikki. The reason I'm so screwed up, it's all your fault. But I'm not gonna tell you what happened to me. I'm just gonna sit here and keep my whiny trap shut.
This silent routine's getting old real quick, you know? All right, you can drop the cold shoulder. I already know what happened to you.
Now, this is insane. First, Tess thinks that I'm falling for Jessica. Now you're telling me the same thing?
I am saying that Tess is a part of Jessica, and they can't be separated no matter how much you might want to.
Not for me. I barely even know Jessica. All right, I've had a couple of conversations with her, and once in a while, yeah, I get a glimpse of the one that I fell in love with. But Jessica is not Tess.
Nash, you're not listening to me.
No, and I'm not even interested. I don't care what you or Mrs. Davidson or the doctor tell me. Your Jessie is not my Tess.
She will be someday. Integration is inevitable, and Jessica is going to keep searching for the truth. And it may take months, it may even take years, but eventually the real story is going to come out.
What about when you went through the same thing with Mrs. Davidson? Did you find it easy to fall in love with her?
Of course, yeah, I love Vicki.
Not Vicki. Nikki.
So now you know my secret. What happened to... I don't remember. I don't know what you're talking about. So you've been playing games with me ever since we left Capricorn. Really? So if you already knew my secret, why have you been on my back to get me to spill my guts? Nikki, you're a liar. You have no idea what happened at that bar.
Oh, can it? We both know exactly what happened at the bar. Some guy went after Jessica when my back was turned, right? That's it, ain't it?
You know something? My situation with Vicki was way different than yours.
I don't see how. You're in love with half a woman just like I am now.
I fell in love with the original woman. You fell in love with the altar.
Yes, the original, but she wasn't integrated, was she? So tell me, was it easy for you to fall in love with Nikki Smith and all these other altars that were running around your house? Because after all, there were other parts of Vicki.
It was easy. And how dare you talk about my marriage, which you know nothing about? Nikki Smith put me and my family through absolute agony. She used me and plotted against me, and all the while, I was trying to save the woman who gave me the best years of my life. Vicki and the kids were everything to me, and when I lost them, I lost a part of myself that I've never been able to get back. You talk about how much you love Tess, and that is all well and good. But it's not the same. Vicki and I had a relationship that lasted for years. We had a marriage, we had a family, a life.
Mr. Buchanan, we found something.
You think you have all the answers. You don't know a thing.
I got this answer, kid. Look, I know all about where this, sickness that we got, where it comes from. It's repeated sexual abuse. You're talking to the expert, remember?
I am not about to discuss this with you.
Yeah, well, you don't have to, because it don't take a degree in psycho mumbo-jumbo to know that sometime, somewhere, some creep went after Jessica.
Shut up.
Come on. What'd he do? What'd he do? He touched you and kissed you?
Please stop.
Did he tell you he'd love you if you keep your mouth shut?
Stop it.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Some son of a bitch. Went after Jessica and tried to rip every last bit of the little girl out of her. Same as Victor Lord did to me. And Vicki. And the only way to survive it is to make sure it happens to somebody else, somebody who can survive it. And that's you, Tess. That's me. That's us.
I told you. You don't know anything. You think you know what happened to Jessica? What, you think that some jerk got his paws on her and suddenly she started to split?
That's about the size of it, ain't it?
Wrong. That's not what happened. What happened to Jessica, what happened to me, it's a hell of a lot worse than anything Victor Lord did to Vicki. It's a hell of a lot worse than anything that you could possibly think of. You think you know where I came from? You don't have the first clue.
That's pretty convincing.
That's because it's the truth. What happened to Jessica, what happened because of you is way worse than anything you could possibly imagine.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You mean because of Vicki?
No, I mean because of you. As far as I'm concerned, it's all your fault. You know, and I'd know that you'd really like to blame Vicki for all of this, but she's not here now, is she? No, she's deep inside, isn't she? And I sure do know what that's like. She's struggling to get out, fighting to break through, to breathe again.
What the hell do you think I've been doing my whole damn life? More to the point, what do you think Miss Victoria was doing? You know what she was doing? She was walking around pretending to be the perfect wife and mother all the time. She's blacking out, losing time, and she doesn't tell anybody.
So what?
So what? She should have been protecting her kid. She should have looked after you. Saved you from all those monsters out there.
Monsters you turned me over to!
No, kid, not me. I was doing back then what I was born to do, and that was to look after me, myself, and Vicki. I was the first line of defense, okay? The bench player that gets brought out soon as the pressure was too much, and back then that was a full-time gig. Last thing I had time for was to look after them messed up brats of hers. You can hate me all you want. You can do it now because you get the whole split personality thing. But I want you to think back, okay? You're 5 years old and you're in a bar. Some guy comes up to you and he does whatever the hell he did to you. Who you mad at, kid? Huh? Who are you crying to help you, to take you home and get you out of there? Me? No, it was your mother, Vicki.
Yeah, it's Jessica's. Have you showed it to Antonio?
Vega's on the east side of the area. We found this in the northwest quadrant.
All right, I'm going back out there.
No, you are not going anywhere, Nash. You're no good to anybody with a bad angle. You're staying here.
I can't just sit here and do nothing.
You're going to have to. We can't afford to lose somebody in the snow, all right? I know how much she means to you. I'll keep you posted.